Hey, everybody. Allie P and Blissful. Hello, ladies. I hope Allie P, the goddess, is a lady because I just called them that. Um, and of course, my hat is forever askew. Um, but I hope you guys won't mind if I finish up my drumstick cone. This is the kind with chocolate ice cream in it. And I must say, they're amazing. I like drumstick cones anyway, but the ones with chocolate ice cream in them are, in my opinion, the best. I mean, there's vanilla, there's chocolate, and there's caramel. Caramel is my least favorite, where it has caramel in the center of the vanilla ice cream. Thank you, Blissful. We were actually celebrating a little early today. Our actual anniversary is not until August 2nd, which is Wednesday, but I thank everyone for all the birthday wishes. Um, some of you may have also noticed that I put a little video on Facebook and also some pictures of my new hookah. And I actually tried it out today. And I I like the flavor of the shosh whatever it is, shashi or whatever. I keep forgetting the exact name of it. I don't know why. Maybe because it's still all new to me. Um, I think it's like shashi or something like that. But I tried the rainbow burst. And Steve tried it once or twice, but he wasn't impressed. Um, he said he really couldn't taste anything, but I tasted it. I thought it tasted like fruity pebbles or something like that, some kind of multi fruit flavored cereal. But I've got like nine or so other types to try out. Um, I don't know when I'll have the hook out again. I mean, I've got to clean it up from this round because the shashi, when it's heated with the coconut fiber charcoal, um, the a little bit of gooey fluid goes down from um, the little ceramic bowl in it, and it kind of gets this sticky, gooey stuff all over. So I'm definitely going to have to clean it out. But I did enjoy it. Now I'm thinking when I put the pictures and stuff, my aunt Pam, my mom's sister, put a sad face. Now she probably thinks, I'm not sure, but she probably thinks that I'm smoking flavored tobacco in it, and I'm not. This the shashi that I'm using um, doesn't have tobacco in it, doesn't have nicotine in it. Um, I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff, a lot of information out there. Most of it says that using a hookah is bad, just as bad or worse than smoking tobacco. I don't know how that is, but whatever. Um, but I did a little research on hookahs, and they were actually invented by a physician. Um, a super long time ago. Um, and no, I don't believe it was a physician in the United States. Of course, it was probably India or something like that. And probably in that point in time, they probably didn't recommend you smoke flavored tobacco in it. That was something that came later, and I see people doing flavored tobacco. If they want to smoke flavored tobacco in it, then who am I to say boo about it? But doing tobacco, if I wanted to smoke tobacco, I would have been smoking cigarettes a long time ago. And tobacco was never something that I was interested in smoking or chewing or any of that. Um, and if it is your thing, then it's your thing. I'm not going to put somebody down for it, but I'm just letting people know that I'm not using flavored tobacco in this thing. And if you think the hookahs and the vaping and all that stuff is bad for you, then all I can say is just don't do it. But I don't think it's a good idea to shame people that are doing it, or try to make them scared by saying, "Do you know what that does to your lungs?" and yada yada yada. Um, so if I get something wrong with my lungs, then it's my own damn fault for doing it. But I just don't feel like at this point in time um, that I'm in any specific danger with it. I am not going to be a person that does this every day. Um, I thought I'd try it, and it may fall by the wayside like a lot of other things I've done over the years have. Um, but it's just something I wanted to try. Um, well, Brian, I appreciate what you're saying, but and that you believe that it's very, very bad, and that's okay with me. And if that's the way people feel, then they shouldn't do it, you know. And I don't feel like that you're shaming me. The only thing I was talking about was people shouldn't shame other people for um, doing things. If it's not, now if I was vaping or using the hookah and I was blowing this stuff in your face in the same way that people smoke cigarettes, if you blow that smoke in somebody's face, that's not a kind thing to do. And and you should be told off if you're doing something like that. Or if you partake in any of these things in other people's houses, in their vehicles, and you know that they don't like it, then yes, you very much should be told off for doing those things, because that's not proper behavior. But if you want to do these things in the privacy of your own home, I mean, I think everybody around knows the risk of cigarette smoking. And I wish my mom could um, quit smoking cigarettes just for her health. I don't want her to do it for me. I don't want her to do it for anybody else other than herself. My dad, he quit smoking cigarettes years ago. But I'm one of these people that just likes to try different things. It doesn't mean that I'm going to, you know, be doing this for 25 or 30 years to come or whatever. Like, I'll try things and then I'll get bored of it and put it aside. I did the vaping for a little bit, not very long at all. And I haven't had the vaping device out in God knows how long. So I'm trying the hookah, and it may end up like a lot of other things. Um, but but Brian, I don't want you to feel like I'm mad at you. I'm not. I'm just saying I'm happy that you share the information, just like you said you're sharing information. Um, I just I get started and I say things and it's not really directed towards you. There are some people that will shame people for doing, different things. Um, let's what you say. I love the journey you're on. Self care is important. Brian's giving us flowers again, Blissful. Scene says, "Hey Dana, fire it up." Well, I would fire it up on the stream, but I've already finished what I was doing with it today, and now I've got to clean it up later, so I probably won't be doing that on this stream. Brian, you say you used to vape as a way to quit cigs. Till my cardiologist told me I would never tell anyone to smoke. But if you have to go back to cigs, studies show vaping is far worse. Which I totally get that. I've seen things that heart doctors have told people, this could cause you to have a heart attack and all that. And I'm not saying that they're wrong. I am not saying that they're wrong at all. But when you have different doctors saying different things, there's some doctors that will say exactly what your cardiologist said. Then there are some doctors that may not say the same thing. So I'm always confused because we don't all go to the same cardiologist. If we go to a cardiologist, we don't all go to the same physician. So who are you supposed to believe in these cases? But I respect that, Brian. You say you don't shame anyone, just share information, and that is perfectly fine. Blizzard, you said, Dana, I found the funniest meme about vaping. I was going to send it to you. Really? I am very proud of you, Brian. You say you quit cigs almost 4 years ago, never looked back. My dad has quit for many, many years. He quit when I was still a kid. And he wadded up the pack of cigarettes, threw it away, never went back to them. And I'm so proud of my dad, too. I'm proud of my mom in a lot of ways. Again, I don't shame her. I only want her to quit smoking for her. Um, Hold on a second here. Thanks, Unseen. You say smoke and enjoy, sweetie. X-ray, you say, yo, Dana. Yeah, commenting on that hookah post. People giving you shit for that. No, not really. My Aunt Pam had the sad face under it. But like I said earlier, I think she's under the impression that I'm smoking flavored tobacco in it. And that's not what I'm doing because that's not what I'm interested in. And if people are, then to each their own. I'm just not. I'm just using flavored shisha in it with no nicotine, no tobacco. Hey, Uncle Bill. Actually, you say, I can go outside my block and there's groups hookahing or whatever you call it all over the place too. Loud music, lol. Does loud music bother you, X ray? The latest GoFundMe, Uncle Bill? Um, oh, latest on the GoFundMe. You're about $50 away from your goal. That's awesome. Brian, you said I've been trying to exercise as much as I can when I can, however I can. Been using my dumbbells. Learned the hard way not to do hundreds or curls a day, every single day with no break. Yeah, you might overextend yourself if you do that, but that's awesome on the exercise, Brian. Cool. Thank you, Blissful. Unseen says, pass me an ice cream cone, please. Yeah, these are really good. But Blissful says she gets first dibs. Okay. Um, so I want to read off and that's probably Blissful sending me that. Hold on a second. I gotta see this meme she sent me. I love it, Blissful. That's great. I used to do that too. So tomorrow night will be Sleepaway Camp 3, August 5th. will be the start of my first ever 2-part watch along. That's going to be for Stephen King's Salem's Lot, directed by the late, great Tobe Hooper. That will be August 5th, and August 6th will be part 2 of the Salem's Lot watch along. August 12th, that is fast approaching, and I'm pointing my finger at Uncle Bill and CK because I'm wanting them to join me on this fantastic watch along for Terror on Tour. August 13th, Almost Famous, what many people refer to as either the greatest rock and or music movie ever made. Oh, thanks Gizmo for stopping by though, and wishing me a great show. Yeah, you go get some sleep. So August 13th is going to be Almost Famous. August 19th, Pet Sematary. August 20th, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. August 26th, the original Carrie. And by the way, Pet Sematary will also be the original Pet Sematary. But August 26th is the original Carrie, directed by Brian De Palma. August 27th will be Mystic Pizza. Still going to try to get my hands on a frozen Mystic Pizza that I am going to cook from Whole Foods here in Louisville. September 2nd, Phantasm. September 3rd, Stand By Me. September 9th, Body Bags. September 10th, Private School. September 16th, Children of the Corn. September 17th, The Breakfast Club. September 23rd, Cujo. September 24th, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. September 30th, watch out, guys. It will be the original 1978 exploitation classic, I Spit on Your Grave. October 1st, Dead and Buried. October 7th, Hell Night. October 8th, Fatal Attraction. October 14th, House by the Cemetery. October 15th, Flashback with Dennis Hopper and Kiefer Sutherland. October 21st, Dressed to Kill. October 22nd, Howard the Duck. October 28th will be the original 1978 classic directed by John Carpenter, Halloween. October 29th, Halloween H2O. November 4th, The Rocky Horror Picture Show. November 5th, Forrest Gump. November 11th, The Original Maniac starring Joe Spinell. November 12th, Blues Brothers. November 18th, Home Sweet Home. November 19th, Home for the Holidays. November 25th, Misery. November 26th, the Beatles themed I Wanna Hold Your Hand. December 2nd, Psycho. That's the original Alfred Hitchcock classic, by the way. December 3rd, be sure to bring your tissues because we're going to be watching Mask, starring Eric Stoltz and Cher. December 9th, Silver Bullet. December 10th, It's a Wonderful Life. Everybody can make the decision whether they want to watch either the original black and white version or the colorized version. I will be watching the black and white version. December 16th, Silent Night, Deadly Night. December 17th, A Christmas Story. December 23rd, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. There will only be one watch along that weekend because Sunday is December 24th, which is Christmas Eve. And I would imagine all of us are going to be spending time with family and friends and other loved ones. December 30th, Bloody New Year. December 31st, Terror Train. Now, if Wes comes in here, or he is in here right now, he will probably laugh because at one time he said he wanted to know what I had planned as far as watch-alongs for January and February of 2024. I do have a couple for the beginning of January. So January 6th will be Blood Cult, and January 7th will be just one of the guys. Now, Monday will be another edition of Camp Cronenberg. And the movies, oops, that's the wrong one up. The movies that will be covered on Monday's Camp Cronenberg will be Dead Ringers, Naked Lunch, M. Butterfly, and Crash. Okay. Tuesday, I'm planning on doing a non-horror Stephen King movie themed not a watch along, but stream. I'll probably try to cover 4, and I think there are more. I'm pretty sure there are more. Uh, well, I figure 4 a night is probably the best way to go. So, and then Wednesday will be a makeup stream because TJ and I did not get to do the Friday the 13th, the series episode breakdown for the first 10 episodes of season 2. So that is in the works for Wednesday. Don't know what else will be going on other than the watch alongs for the following week or weekend, rather. So let's read through these remaining messages here. Brian, you say, I didn't really like Pet Sematary itself, but Clancy Brown was good in it. Of course, everything he does is good. Now, Pet Sematary 2, yeah, that's the one with Clancy Brown. I found parts of it amusing, and it was entertaining movie, but not nearly as good as the original, in my opinion. Okay, so let's get the housekeeping stuff out of the way. I am going to be watching this on my Screen Factory Blu-ray. However, if you don't have your own copy and you want to watch along with me, this is on Tubi. I did put the link in the chat. You can also rent it for $3.99 from Amazon if you'd like. And on my Blu-ray, in case you want to try to get queued up here, I'm 11 seconds in. The MGM line is getting ready to roar. And I forgot, I'm going to do a Daily Grindhouse, going to show one thing. But if anybody wants to join me live on the stream, I do have the link in here. I think Chris C said something about being on here, but he may not be able to, so it may just be me. Thank you, Blissful. Blissful says, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kick this Daily Grindhouse off, show one thing, and then we're going to see if we can get started with the movie. So here we go. All right. So once again, I haven't had a chance to watch this yet, so really can't comment on the quality of it. But I did get the Kino release, 4K of Needful Things. I know a lot of people, or maybe not a lot of people, but several people have said that they don't much care for Needful Things as an adaptation to Stephen King's book. However, I've always enjoyed it. And I'm really looking forward to watching it on 4K. It's kind of sparse on the special features, but it does have audio commentary by director Fraser C. Heston, moderated by Scorpion Releasing's Walt Olson. 191-minute television cut of the film, which a lot of people say the television cut's better than the theatrical cut. And I like the additional stuff in it. The Devil's in the Details interview with screenwriter W.D. Richter, and a theatrical trailer. Brian, you say I need to watch all of the new episodes for Witcher season 3 now that they've added the second half. I'm Steve was watching that. I don't know if he's still watching it or not. Yeah, you're right, X-Ray. Evil Things is the Stephen King movie no one talks about. No one really, unless they say they don't like it. I think I'm in the tiny minority that does like it. Nobody really does talk about it. Yeah, exactly. Lots of class actors in it. Max von Sydow, for instance. Ed Harris is in it. Bonnie Bedelia, J.T. Walsh, Amanda Plummer. Yeah, I feel like that all that stuff is stacked in this movie's favor. But anyway, so the first thing I want to ask before we get this movie started, and if somebody comes in here later and wants to join in on the stream, yes, X-Ray, J.T. Walsh died way too soon. Great character actor. You think one of his last roles is in Sling Blade? Yeah, that's possible. Blissful says, my friend watches The Witcher for her daily dose of eye candy. LOL. So, if anybody wants to join me live on the stream before we get the movie started, feel free. If you need me to add, that link back in there, I would be happy to do so. If anybody needs the Tubi link, I can also post that back in the chat as well. Or you could head on over to Amazon and rent it for $3.99. So, also, I have my Blu-ray queued up 11 seconds in. The MGM line is getting ready to roar. So, I will give everybody a few minutes for those of you that are planning to watch along with me to get queued up. And then we will go ahead and get started. And if somebody comes in later and wants to join in live, they are welcome to, barring it not being 30 seconds before the movie's over. And also, if anybody comes in or anybody's in the chat now that needs a timestamp at any point in time, I will be happy to give that to you. Actually, says Steve loves staring at Henry Cavill's specs. Brian, you said there's a lot of controversy over Witcher season 3 because Henry Cavill left the show after season 3. Blissful says, X-Ray, he has pecs. I'll need to rewatch. I'm going to try to finish my ice cream here real quick. I'm probably going to have to end up taking the hat off because it is still freaking hot back here. We had another heat advisory today. Looks like I'm steadily losing people. Probably they don't want to sit here and watch me eat an ice cream cone. Oh, I also wanted, I don't know, I think I've already mentioned this, but in case some of you guys didn't see the stream from Friday, the surprise stream. Uh, I don't know if this means that I'm getting any closer to getting Aaron's job. However, we did find out on Friday that he is indeed moving to the field tech position. Although it is going to leave his position open. So, y'all keep me in your thoughts and all that. All right. So, I don't see anybody saying that they want to join me live on the stream, which is okay. And I don't see anybody saying hold off, don't do the 3, 2, 1 yet. So I guess we're going to go ahead and get started. And we can get anybody that comes in later caught up by giving them a timestamp. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Press play. And the line is roaring. And now we got Jerry Silva Presents. Double Helix Films Production. Actually, I remember my dad renting this one. And we didn't know anything about it at the time. I hadn't even seen the first one. So I definitely saw these out of order. I saw 2 and 3 way before I saw the first one. But I love this. And Dad said the reason he rented it was because of this. And this was the original cover art for Sleepaway Camp 2. And obviously that's not Pamela Springsteen on there. It's a model or another actress that they use. She was not in the movie at all. So, but it says when you go camping, just take the essentials. And Dad thought it was cool because there was a Freddy glove and a hockey mask in there in her backpack. So I'm seeing you love the song at the beginning of Sleepaway Camp 2. So this has a classic kind of opening to this slasher movie. I mean, yeah, we've seen it done before, but I just like the way this one's styled. And we see Angela, played by Pamela Springsteen, coming up behind 2 of the campers here. And actually, who she's coming to get is Phoebe, and Phoebe shouldn't be out there with the boys. Even though Phoebe's not doing anything, it's not like she's stripping off her clothes and doing a dance for everybody there. Angela is not happy with her at all. And so Phoebe is telling the story of what happened at Camp Arawak. If you hadn't seen the first movie, you might not realize that Pamela Springsteen's character is the killer. Spoiler, she is going to turn out to be the killer. She is Angela, a little bit older, quite a bit older. Not played by Felissa Rose this time, of course, played by Pamela Springsteen. And unfortunately, I don't know of anybody that has been able to contact Pamela Springsteen to talk to her about these movies. Evidently, she pretty much quit acting and did photography full time, which is admirable. I mean, I say go her. However, it's just slightly disappointing that she won't talk about her horror past and won't talk about these movies. Um, it's just a shame. And she doesn't show up at horror conventions or anything like that. So Angela's getting really angry with Phoebe here. She's saying, I should send you home, because you're telling this horrible story. And Phoebe, she's taken enough of Angela. She's just saying, like, screw you. And she just basically walks off. This is probably one of the first, I mean, not the first movie. The first movie I got after my family got a VCR was Witchboard, which I also love. But this was not very long after. Once we got a VCR, Dad used to come home to almost, I guess, probably every weekend for a while. It might have been every night for a little while. He would bring horror movies home from the video store. And there's the first kill. And Phoebe got her tongue cut out for telling such a scary story to those kids around the campfire. So, can anybody help me out? I need TJ in here, but he's not in here. But that Susan Marie Snyder, is that the same Susan Snyder or no, I guess that's Suzanne Snyder that's in Killer Clowns. So, I guess I'm wrong there. And I believe both 2 and 3, they were pretty much shot back to back. And I think they were both filmed down in Georgia by Michael A. Simpson. And there is Renee Estevez, a lovely Renee Estevez, and there's some two boobs there, courtesy of Allie, who's pretty much the bad girl of this movie. Oh, that's fine, Blissful. You say I'll be listening. I'm on a writing spree after many, many years. Yeah, you go with that. So they're realizing that Phoebe is not there. Um, and Angela says, I had to send her home. And that becomes a um, almost like code term for I killed them, because every time somebody gets killed, it's said that they got sent home. And that's even said in Sleepaway Camp too. Mel says, "Yeah, it's a shame so many had to leave." So there's going to be a lot of boobage in this movie. I ain't kidding you. Um, and you got these little little adolescent pervs here, peeking in the window. And Uncle John is played by Walter Gotell, who I believe was in a James Bond film. I mean, I know he's probably been in a ton of other stuff. But I'm guessing that the camp's supposed to be upstate New York. And Angel is very happy to weed out the bad. So we have the girl Leah, who Allie just gave her oatmeal to, whose big line in this movie is repeated several times is, "You're not supposed to do this or that. I'm gonna tell." And the shit sisters are the shoat sisters. Um Actually are they're the ones that's drinking and doing drugs. So I believe that Tony, is it Tony Higgins there, right there, who plays Sean, was probably the oldest of the bunch. I think he may have been in his late 20s. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think um, one of those guys, Judd or Anthony, I think it's the white guy though that passed away. Um, I don't have complete 100% confirmation on that, but I was thinking that I was looking up information on the actors from these movies. It might be Benji Wilhite that played Anthony. Yeah, he died in 2011, sadly. So I don't know what he died of, but he was just found dead in March of 2011. Oh, okay. So that's kind of depressing. I read more and found out that he did commit suicide. So evidently that was the cause of death. Very sad. Perfect product placement there, by the way, with the Coca Cola. cooler or whatever it is. And this guy here that plays TC, you soap opera watchers from way back when of General Hospital in particular will remember Brian Patrick Clark as Grant Putnam. The guy, he was a bad guy on there, kidnapped Anna Devane at one time. Some of you that didn't watch soap operas or didn't watch them back then are probably like, who the hell are you talking about? But he was Grant Putnam on General Hospital. I remember the first time me and my mom watched this, she was like, that's Grant Putnam. I just think Renee Estevez is absolutely beautiful. And she's like girl next door beautiful, not like glamorous beautiful. And but if I was a guy or I was into women, that is the kind of, I've said this before, that is the kind of woman I would go for, because the super hot, super glamorous types just wouldn't do it for me in that respect. And Renee Estevez, of course, is the sister of Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen, and the daughter of Martin Sheen. Hey, TJ. Timestamp is 16 minutes, 8 seconds, or 9 seconds, rather. And hi, TJ, by the way. And of course, the not to keep on about the Benji Wilhite thing, but um, sleepawaycampfilms.com is evidently still alive and kicking as a website. And I tell you what, that site has got a lot of information about all the films. And Benji Wilhite did actually join Michael A. Simpson for a chat on the Sleepaway Camp Films website, which, in case any of you are interested, let me put that. And you might want to take a peek around the site and look at some different things. Hey, Coco, you say, Dana, you're cracking me up with the what if scenario. There's beautiful people in the world, gifts for the eyes. I think flowers are nature's jewelry. That's beautiful. I do like that. John, you say, hey, John, by the way, I watched a real winner earlier, The Dorm That Dripped Blood. Uh, is that Pranks or Death Dorm? Because I guess I love that one. You know me in bad movies, though, John. TJ says, Peeping Tom. I mean, Angela, lol. So, I mean, if the getting the tongue cut out wasn't enough for you guys and gals at the beginning, here we got what's going to be another kill. These are the Shoat sisters, and they, like I said earlier, they like to drink and smoke dope and do all the things that Angela doesn't like. So Angela's already burned up her sister, and she's getting ready to dispatch the other Shoat sister. I thought back in the day that these kills were just wow, I can't believe they did that. Now it probably wouldn't be nothing to kids now. So this girl here, other than being super annoying, is actually getting ready to go home. Angela's gonna make sure that she gets home. Angela's not gonna kill her, although she probably feels like it because I feel like it. This girl is super annoying. Of course, I don't know why they're having a girl that old uh, paint. John, you say this is the best sleepaway camp in my opinion. This was actually the one I watched first, John. I mean, if you're looking for fun and well, I mean, the first one had inventive kills and kind of shocking ending and stuff, but I guess if you're wanting in a way a less dark film, then this would certainly fit the bill. Coco, you say if they didn't make sense, Dana, about the people being attractive, I was fine to your remark about a pretty woman. Oh, I got you, Coco. Yes, hey. You say also, hey girl, hey. So now Angela's telling them that, I guess you've heard by now I had to send the Shoat sisters home. And of course, Mayor says, no big loss. And they repeatedly call Angela a dyke too. Johnny saying, yeah, praises that other movie. I didn't love it. So now they're kidding Molly about liking Sean. And right now, Allie is not being a nasty bitch like she ends up being later on. Um, but the truth be told, Allie wants to, she wants to screw around with Sean, and Sean don't really want nothing to do with her, or maybe he's had something to do with her, and doesn't want to anymore. So the guys are doing the typical, panty raid, which is really, in all honesty, it's pretty innocent. But Angela's going to get her panties in a bunch here in just a little bit. I mean, really, to me, they're just young people having fun. And the guy playing shoot Rob, Terry Hobbs, um, was too young at the time to see a chick's boobs. So there's going to be a scene coming up, and I'll kind of explain it a little bit more when we get to that. John, you say I'm using isolation as a reason to go through my physical media. Rewatched American Werewolf in London last night. Love that transfer. 10 out of 10 film. I totally agree with that, John. I love an American Werewolf in London, and you know, isolation is not necessarily a good thing, but if you can make something good out of it, then I say, yeah, definitely go for it. So they're pissed off at Angela, but they want to get the guys back too for doing the panty raid. So now they're, getting their jock straps and stuff. And TC, all he does, it woke him up. So he comes out in his Jan and Dean muscle shirt. And then he just says, wake me when it's over. Which is the way a normal camp counselor would probably act. But we're going to find out more and more that Angela is not a normal camp counselor. So here's Mayor flashing her boobs again. And I'm not sure how Angela knows exactly where they are at all times, but she does. So she's acting as if she's going to take Mayor home or take her somewhere where she can go home. And Angela's trying to act nice. She says, even though you did this thing, exposing your breasts, I really think you didn't know any better, that you're trying to impress everybody, including Allie, or especially Allie. Of course, she made the mistake of calling her Mary, and she says, the name is not Mary, it's Mayor. So she says, I'm giving you one last chance. We're going to have a camp out tomorrow night. I'd love you to be there. Just say you're sorry. She should have said sorry. Instead, she says, I would rather die first, Angela. To which Angel's certainly going to oblige her here with a drill. John, you say, yeah, my COVID is mild so far. Day 3, just cold and sinus. I'm going to be movied out. well, I guess it is as good an excuse as any to lay around and rest or sit around and rest and watch movies. At least it's not too bad. I'm glad to know it's not too bad. Um, John, you say, did they try to get Felissa Rose back for these, or was she just too young still? I think they considered her too young to, you know, maybe do the. I think they wanted Angela to be older. Maybe they thought it wouldn't look right to have, um, which I don't know. Sleepaway Camp with what, 82, 83, and these were like 88 or something like that. Which I guess Felissa Rose might have been about 18. But I think that they wanted her to be a little bit older. So they probably just, I think Michael A. Simpson just wanted to go with somebody new, and Pamela Springsteen having to come along. And I think that's what they went with. That's a bad joke there about the Naval Reserve. John, you say in ways Pamela played the definitive role for it because she was older and fleshed out the character. Felissa playing it young was just the most known, but not much to work with. Yeah, I do think I love Felissa Rose. I've met her, and she's as sweet as can be. But I do think that honestly they made a better choice by having Pamela Springsteen play Angela in the second and third movies. Another movie I really like Renee Estevez in is Intruder, which I honestly can't remember if I've done a watch along for it. If TJ is still in here, perhaps he'll remember if I did one, or one of the rest of you might remember. If I haven't, that one will definitely be upcoming. So this is where Molly's telling Angela, um, Allie likes Sean too, and I guess she's afraid, she's feeling insecure and stuff, and afraid that I guess Sean would go with Allie rather than stay with her. She's saying, she's not as experienced. That guys like cheerleaders, and Allie's a cheerleader, and she tried out but didn't make it. And then Angela starts talking about how shy she was as a girl and never talked to anybody. So you're starting to get flashes back to the original Sleepaway Camp where Felissa Rose's version of Angela did not talk for a long time. TJ, you say you don't think I did Intruder? Well, hot dog, that sucker's coming up then. Probably in January. That's going to be a fun one. A lot of these have been fun, but some of them I think are more fun than others. And you can be willing to bet that was probably real teenagers' brains in there. I mean, within the movie, not really, but yeah, I don't think Aunt Martha ever said any any helpful things. Actually, maybe in Angela's mind she did. So Judd and Anthony are planning on scaring Angela during the camp out that her and the girls are supposed to go on. So as you can see, they're decorating a hockey mask, and Anthony is making a Freddy glove. Now here's the adolescent perverts again. Looking at the Polaroids that they've already taken. Man, they've already taken a heck of a lot of Polaroids of topless girls. And Angela shows up. So Angela's, pretty much demanding they give her the pictures. And she is not happy. And they got one of Angela. Angela's got her bra on, but they got her putting her top on. And she's very angry. And of course, TC says, nice tits. And Angela wants them sent home, but TC says, no. Charlie and Emilio, and there's some hints there. Charlie and Emilio had been coming there for years. And he says, I think a couple of kids are going to try to scare you. And she says, don't worry, I'll handle it, which is what he told her about the topless pics that the boys had taken. Bliss, what you said, bra color? I think it was just white. So Allie, again, is not being a nasty bitch right now. She's still kidding around. Bliss, what you say, disappointed. Yeah, I mean, I like different, bra colors as well. Now, pay attention to what she says here. If you guys got either your sound on or you're looking at the subtitles, because Demi uh, basically says, I hope they don't show up talking about the boys, because my parents would strangle me if I get sent home. Just keep that in mind. TJ, you say Cairo syrup was from the real makeup tin on set. So Anthony's misplaced his glove. And Judd says, I'm going to go take a piss. If you're not ready by the time I come back, I'm leaving you. Oh, so somebody's found his glove. Damn. But I don't know why you would, of course, this great effect here wouldn't have worked. But I don't know why you would put real blades on a glove if you were just planning to prank somebody. Wouldn't the chances of somebody getting injured be very high? Exactly, John. You say intruder rules. If you've ever wondered what Friday the 13th and a Piggly Wiggly will be like, it's this film. Haha. Now, guys and gals, for those of you that have never seen Sleepaway Camp 2, this is going to be a short one. We're about 37 minutes in. This is only an hour and 20 minutes long. So I think he's figured out that's not Anthony. So, Coco, you've never seen Intruder? Well, I think you're going to be in for a treat with this one. She's wanting to know where Allie is. Well, Allie said something about having cramps, and of course Angela says, "I'll bet." And she is in the bathroom, but she's hanging out with Rob in more ways than one here. I always thought that this was like a super silly scene. But you know, maybe some people do this when they're having sex, or maybe they did this when they were young, but it's like, what in the hell are they doing here? If you would just take your time, you would probably be able to do a lot more. So I would take it that during the part where she takes her bra off, that is not Terry Hobbs either. Blissful, you said that was not me, Dana. LOL. Uh, which part wasn't you, Blissful? And of course, uh, oh, when my phone went off. No, actually, I think there was something telling me that a package got delivered. If TJ's still in here, um, I I got that Curious Goods book, and I got the hardback copy too as well. Because I thought, hey, there's a book out there that'll be useful to me too. Um, as we're going through these episodes. TJ did get quiet after talking about syrup. Oh, here we go. We are going to have somebody on here with me. Hold on just a second. Hey, that's why you got quiet, wasn't it? Because you were preparing to come on here.
Hi. Hi, chat.
See, TJ was going to surprise everybody.
Surprise.
Well, at least I got somebody on here. I think Chris C said something about coming on, but he may have forgotten or may have something else he needed to do.
So, did you read any of the book?
Well, it just arrived, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't had a chance to go out there and get it, but I'm eagerly awaiting looking at it.
I was reading some stuff about. There was like a little interview segment with some of the people involved, and Roby was talking about how there was one director, and he was kind of treating her like she's just the girl.
Ah.
And she's like, I want to drive the Mercedes, and he's like, that's for people who own the store, and she's like, my character owns the store.
Yeah.
And he like threw the keys at her, and he's like, fine, whatever.
What a jackass.
Yeah, she didn't say which director it was. It'd be interesting to find out who that was.
Mm-hmm.
Sexist bitch. Anyway.
So once again, I'd like to talk about how beautiful Renee Estevez is. Who's going to agree with me on that?
She's cute. And she's got a little nose thing, but it's. I'm not one to talk, but that's.
Oh. Now, I was shocked because I was watching one of John Grande's, and I like John a lot, but I was watching one of his other, I think, roundtables to prepare for when I was on this past Thursday, and I heard him say how ugly Pamela Springsteen was. I think they have her looking a little dowdy on here just because she's supposed to.
Yeah.
Now, here's the scene that I was talking about. I'll take a break from that for a second.
Talk
To,
about those breasts.
but that is not Terry Hobbs there when she's showing her breasts because he was too young to be looking at her breasts. Uh,
Ah,
so when you see the close-ups, of course, it's him, and she must have a top or something covering her breast. But when it's shown from the back there and you can see her breast, it is not him. I bet he thought, "Damn, oh,
that's like Kirk Cameron. When he does movies, he can't because he's a Christian. He can't
he can't look."
he can't pretend to even touch a woman really without it being a double or being behind a sheet like in Rock Horror Picture Show or something like that. It's like, then don't act anymore, you jerk.
I don't know. Kirk Cameron got weird. You know, I used to, like watching him and stuff, and then all of a sudden, I don't have anything against anybody that's religious, but when you start getting like weird about stuff, that's where I got a problem.
He like fired the girl off of his show because she had done Playboy, and he didn't think that was right. So he was the big star of the show. So he said, "Get her out of here."
Yeah, he got his way, right?
Yeah. He's like Tom Cruise. He's not really a good actor. He just has a personality, I guess.
Ooh, waffles with apple butter. Oh my God. Y'all are making me hungry for stuff. And I don't need to be eating anything right now. I just had an ice cream cone.
I have a theory about Angela in this. I
Okay.
think I think everything's in her head. Everybody is not as over the top as it appears. You said earlier, oh, like Allie seems to be calm now compared to when she's with Angela because Angela sees things differently in her mind.
Mm,
She's imagining things. That's one of
that's
my theories about this.
interesting. I like that theory.
Because Molly's so virginal in her eyes, and everybody else is just
Blissful's blaming you for I guess, the waffle talk and stuff because you said something about Cairo syrup earlier.
it's for fake blood. It's not for her food.
Hey, Menelect.
Ooh, she kicked her.
This is my favorite death in this movie. Um, I just thought, I thought this was the coolest when I was a kid watching this when my dad rented it.
I remember in a Fangoria article, it shows the girl who plays Allie with the fake leeches on her, and she's all
Mhm.
smiling and everything. And
If you watch the behind the scenes stuff on these Blu-rays, and it was on the DVDs as well, but
mm-hmm.
you can see her going to lunch and she's got the fake leeches all over
Yeah,
her and stuff. Because I just think it's so disgusting. I mean, she's putting her in the shitter basically, and and the leeches just was added to it.
how deep are those? Are they that deep that a whole body can fit down?
I don't think they really are.
Ah,
So she keeps asking her what's down there, and she says shit and piss. And then she says, "What else is down there?" And she's like, "I don't know." And she's like, "Well, you're just going to have to climb in there and find out."
mm.
What a nasty way to die, though, if it was possible to get somebody in one of those.
Yeah, Yeah, she's pretty brutal in this.
Mm-hmm. She burned up the Shoat sisters earlier.
Yeah, that's pretty psychotic.
I mean, I don't generally get sick if I'm eating and watching something like this, but some people probably would. And then she says, "You should have been the first to go."
He kind of looks like Anthony Michael Hall a little bit. That guy.
Yeah, especially back there when he was standing at the phone. Like, why does he have to wear like the gold chain or whatever? That just doesn't look right with his camp shirt. No shit. We know she didn't have cramps. So I guess at this point, everybody's pretty much bored that has left because Angel has killed so many people off, sent them home, um, that there's not many people to hang out with, I guess.
He tells the story of Angela.
He's got a bunch of aces in his hand. He should be winning there.
He did.
I think he does win this hand.
They should have got Aunt Martha back for a flashback.
That would have been funny. Oh, come on. I can't believe Rob says Allie's pretty bad, regarding the sex. He didn't act like it was bad when he was in the middle of it.
She's faking.
And TJ probably already knows this, but the characters, a lot of the characters were named by Brat Pack members, or named after Brat Pack members.
Ali Sheedy, yeah.
Demi Moore.
I'm gonna guess the writer didn't like Ali Sheedy that much. Look what they did to the character.
Yeah.
Well, this girl should just cut her own throat at this point.
Yeah.
I like when Angela, she starts testing things out. Was this gonna work? What's this gonna?
Yeah, she's looking around to kill her.
with this hanger, will that happen?
But you remember earlier when Demi said, if I get sent home, my parents will strangle me. And if that wasn't foreshadowing to what's going to happen here shortly, then I don't know what is. Yeah, a hanger's not going to work.
And then she combs her hair with a brush. I love that. That's funny. I wonder if any of that was. We'll never know because she won't do an interview. But I wonder if that was like ad lib, or they told her to do that.
Yeah, it almost seems like an ad lib.
Okay, those scissors aren't going to work.
The boombox ain't gonna work. None of that's. But when she does get ready to kill her, and she say, "You know what? You talk too much." She does talk too much, honestly.
See, that's why I think it's Angela's mind. Like she's exaggerating everything that's happening. So she takes a little thing about somebody and she harps on that, and then she wants to kill them because of it. So because I don't think those psychiatrists help. Well, she says that later in the. Or is that in the next one? No, I think she says, yeah, psychiatrist.
I think she does. So she said, I think the reason they let her out was because psychiatrists, clergymen, all these people said she was cured.
Yeah.
They were wrong, evidently.
Well, I mean, he's trying to throw her out the window.
That's like the rugs my mom used to have in the house.
What did I do? You're gonna tell.
Yeah, I love that one. This has got to be one of the most annoying people in horror movie history. Yeah, I'm gonna tell.
Now, was she Demi or Demi? Because remember, it was Demi Moore, and then Demi Moore, and then she said, "No, I'm Demi."
Yeah. So she found her a weapon to kill Leo with.
Yeah, where was that knife before?
Yeah. And then, of course, she says, no more whining. John says, if it was made 2023 by Blumhouse, kumbaya tonight.
Ugh. Stop bringing up that terrible movie. Oh, flashback.
I think he might be a few seconds ahead.
Yeah, I had a commercial, so I'm like,
oh, gotcha.
And it goes 30 seconds. I'm like, 10 would have been better, not 30, but whatever.
I guess you're watching on TV then?
Yeah, because I don't have a copy because I didn't buy them in time.
I don't know. I find something creepy about the scene where Molly walks into the cabin and there's nobody left, just her and Angela. That's it. Blissful says Kumbaya brings back memories of Woodstock and mushrooms. Well, I would have liked to have went to Woodstock if I'd, been alive then. But I definitely don't want to partake of any mushrooms. I'm scared of shit like that. But, if mushrooms is your thing, I say go for it.
It might be me, but a couple of those montage shots look like they're like alternate takes.
Yeah, I think they may have been.
I know there's an extended Happy Camper song scene.
I always thought the dream sequence was kind of creepy too because they slow her voice down.
Yeah, is she feeling guilt or what? Or she just?
I think she may be a little bit. But that doesn't keep her from doing what she does later. So
No.
how much guilt she's got.
Or earlier when she scares the girls with the dude's face and everything, and the other girl's like, "It's not nice," and Angela's like,
Yeah, exactly.
But if that was Angela on her side, she would be bothered by that being. I mean, she was pissed off that they were going to scare her in the first place. That's why she killed them. So I mean, she's a little hypocritical too.
Yeah.
Oh, and Uncle Remus over there is going to.
John says it feels like 3 is more so built on the table scraps of part 2. It's not bad, but this is much better to me. I think Steve kind of said the same thing because we did commentaries for both this one and the third one, and he said that the third one seemed to look less polished, a little more low budget than part 2. But they filmed them back to back, so maybe part 3 was a little more rushed than part 2.
And if they were working on like one budget and then they split it in half.
Mm-hmm.
because they use the same sets, I think, like the camp sets. And
so all of a sudden, Uncle John is mad at Angela, and he's going to fire her. Yeah, but you've done it again several times. She's like, well, if I said I was sorry and I wouldn't do it again.
couldn't talk her way out of it this time.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, she's like, didn't I just tell you that I sent them home? And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He just sleeps in that gold chain and everything.
Evidently so. He loves that damn gold chain so much.
I don't have any character development, so I'm going to wear a gold chain.
Now, TJ, do you know, I was always under the impression that Tony Higgins, who plays Sean, was older than the rest of them. I thought he was in his late 20s.
He does look older.
Like close to 30.
I mean, I don't know what the age limit is on counselors, but
of course, they're not. That's the funny thing. They're not counselors, and they're just campers. It's like, I always thought this was weird that kids this old supposedly would want to go to camp. I mean, it made sense in the original Sleepaway Camp because those kids seem to be the right age for the most part. But this, I just could. When these kids or when these young people have better things to do during their summer than to go to Sleepaway Camp.
I don't know.
John says the budget for this and 3 was like, is that $465K? That's still over $1 million with inflation. Such a difference between then and now. That's considered low budget. Them having to use film was a lot of it. And John also says, I feel like many older movies benefited because they had to be shot on film, especially Trauma.
Now everything's digital unless it's like Oppenheimer, 70 millimeter. Breaking machines because it's too heavy. They weren't meant to hold 3 hours of movie footage rolls.
Yep. So I know I'm a little bit behind TJ, but now Angela and Molly are talking, and she's up at that abandoned cabin, and she's going to reveal that, she said TC reminds her of a boy she knew when she was younger, and she said, but I fixed him, and Molly says, how? And she's like, I drowned him, just like matter of fact,
I just realized Uncle John is John Hughes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because he's the head of the...
Exactly. I've seen this setup before, or this reveal before, where somebody finds all the dead bodies, but I just like the way this one is set up. The way Angela's got them all positioned and stuff.
Yeah, she's Jason if Jason had more time to hide the bodies.
Yeah, exactly, and could be more creative.
Mm-hmm. Will he rescue everybody? With his little shorts.
And you can tell this is late 80s because Rob just said bitchin'.
Totally. that
So
door it could come off without any focus.
I'm guessing Angela's been like hanging out and, eating her lunch there in that abandoned cabin with all those dead bodies because she's got all kinds of food there.
Mm-hmm.
There's some old El Paso refried beans up there, I think.
So battery acid can kill you that fast? Okay.
I guess in this movie it can.
No, Reagan, I do not want your peace.
You gotta love that well placed vomit on Sean's shirt too.
Yeah, it's his hair too.
Yeah, exactly.
He just figures it out. Angela Baker.
It took you the whole entire movie, dude.
Yes, you've been telling the story since the beginning, and you didn't even put that. He's not that smart.
And what's funny is that was TC's battery that she got the acid from. She used it to kill him.
Yeah. Yeah, she says, "Oh, your battery came in handy." Why is she Angela Johnson? I don't get that part.
I guess I don't know if she did it because she didn't want people associating that with Angela Baker.
Why'd she change her first name too?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that's not her real name either.
No, it's Peter.
Yeah. That whole the psychiatrist, and then I had the sex. First of all, she was forced to become a girl, so that she was conditioned. It had nothing. That whole, I think it was just an easy way to just get into this. The sequel is just like, oh, there goes his head.
John says, yeah, I feel like that's why so much doesn't stick now. It either looks generic or cheap, like that new Exorcist trailer. Well, that Exorcist trailer is freaking awful.
I didn't even look at it. Boring.
I wasn't going to, but I watched the Dead Pit video where they did it kind of like a.
Oh, she moved. Allie moved. Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. John says, looks like something we already saw 10 years ago.
I mean, that's a whole. They're trying to make it look familiar, anyways. Maybe there's something different in the actual. I watched the TV show. I liked it. I watched
the TV show was pretty decent.
I wish it would have been nice if the surprise wasn't spoiled for me. That would have been like a cool like she's who? That would have been great. But and I didn't like Sharon Gless. I like Sharon Gless. I didn't like her as Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they did a flashback to when Reagan was younger and I had a different actor play both characters, and I'm like, the one playing young Chris looks like what's her face from the original movie, not like Sharon Gless, which I was like, why did that mean that made no sense?
Yeah, I don't know why they do.
She should look like Ellen Burstyn. She should look. I mean, young Reagan didn't look like not Angela.
Linda Blair.
Linda Blair or what's her face? Barbara Maitland. I can't remember her name. Why can't I remember her? Gina Davis. Jeez. Surprise, I just spoiled it for anybody who hasn't seen the Exorcist TV show.
If you ain't seen it by now, sorry.
I didn't. I didn't realize it came out in 2016. I was like, I remember when it was talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I watched it the other day and I was like, oh, boy, it's older than I thought it was.
Sean's on the TV.
Yes. And Angela's very good at dragging dead bodies.
So there is when they show the behind the scenes stuff, this is something, and maybe TJ you can clear it up for him. They show them making the head, working on Sean's head. And they've got, I mean, it's a really complicated setup because the eyes move and everything. So when did they need the eyes to move on the fake head? Because I don't.
Maybe there was supposed to be a shot where
That's the only thing I can
where
think.
the eyes moved when the head got cut off. Then they just didn't film it, or
Because it just looked like you can tell where the fake head is because it's still. It's not doing
yeah.
anything.
So it's not a bad fake head. It looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Angela shouldn't have used that to tie Molly's hands together. That wasn't too smart because that's too easy to get undone.
Molly, don't run. I was thinking of Mannequin. I'm not Mannequin. Tourist Trap. Molly!
Exactly. Somebody should take this movie and put that scene from Tourist Trap in. Sorry, Angela. Molly doesn't like you anymore.
How does she just teleported? Yes, grab the knife and then wipe the blood on her face then. Okay. She's a good runner.
Yeah.
Don't run with the knife. It's dangerous.
Didn't your mama teach you anything?
Yeah. Stop, I just want to be your friend. I only kill everybody else. I don't want to kill you too.
I don't know why, like, she rubbed the blood on Molly's face.
Yeah. For some reason, I'm imagining the scene in Breakfast Club where the montage of them running around the school and that music's playing.
Yeah. I'm actually going to be doing a watch along for Breakfast Club at some point.
I love that movie. I wish did they do an extended cut with the TV scenes and stuff?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't think. Well, I'll have to go back and look at my disc because maybe that's on there.
Because I think I watched it on TV first, and then when I saw it on video, and I was like, "Where's those scenes that were in the movie in the TV version?" There's a scene where the guys like having trouble with the vending machine, and Ali Sheedy just stands there and stares at him, and then walks away. That's a great scene.
I remember my brother and I watching the Breakfast Club on TBS one time, and that part where Anthony Michael Hall is crying and stuff, and he says "fuck you," and then goes like this. So on TBS, you couldn't hear him say "fuck you," so it went straight from him talking to Claire, and then going like this. And me and my brother were just cracking up because that was one of the funniest things we'd ever seen. The way they edited the movie. Now,
did she want Molly to win to get away? Because she's like, you almost made it, and she was upset.
I don't know. I think she was maybe conflicted about Molly. But here's where a movie too with Charlie and Emilio, the characters of Charlie and Emilio getting killed, and they're young kids.
They stole this scene from Nightmare at Shadow Woods.
Oh yeah,
the guy's got his hand and it's on the phone and it's cut. Like that's exactly the setup. That's like.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I just I don't want anybody to think I'm sadistic or anything, but with young kids in peril, that's just an unusual thing you don't you don't see that a lot.
Well, they're dead. They're all messed up.
Yeah, exactly. Just like on Night of the Living Dead.
You need to come downstairs now.
Oh, I got some home issues.
There's a tornado warning.
Okay, well, we have a tornado warning, so I have to go.
Okay, well, thanks for popping in, TJ.
All right, bye.
Stay safe. Okay, so we hope that TJ stays safe. So I hope everything turns out okay for him. So we're fast approaching the end of Sleepaway Camp 2. And Angela's getting a ride from a lady that curses and smoking a cigarette. And so we know what's going to happen to this lady. That's right, John. She gonna die. So here is going to be the final shot here. Molly thinks she's going to be rescued, but we got a bad feeling about this, right? And this is classic. Howdy, partner. And it zooms in on Molly's face and then goes to the credits. And this movie ends with another great song. So if you look at the list of names, we had Rob and Leah, probably Leah Thompson, Anthony, Judd, Charlie, Phoebe, Emilio, Molly, all of those Brat Pack names. But I'm going to let the credits run out as usual, as I usually do. But I want to thank everybody for joining me for Sleepaway Camp 2. Tomorrow night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, will be Slumber Party Massacre 3. Perhaps if things go okay for TJ, maybe he can join me for that one. And so if anybody has anything they want to bring up here in the last few minutes that I'm going to be on here, I mean, theoretically, I could stay on here till 9. And I'm probably going to hop on off of here by that point in time, get a few things taken care of, and then just do a little relaxing and try to get some sleep a little later. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this movie. I don't know how many of you in here, this has been your first watch of Sleepaway Camp 2. If it was, I hope I didn't spoil things too much for you. Bliss, will you say the East Coast weather has been insane lately? I think, yeah, it seems like the weather in different places has been insane lately. I just like, they were showing tornadoes in Chicago, and I think they were showing them. There were some videos of some in North Carolina, like either last week or the week before. Oh, cool, John. You say if I'm feeling okay, I maybe can join. No guarantees, as long as my sciences aren't going nuts, which that is perfectly fine, John. I'll be glad to have you as long as you are feeling okay and all that. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Sometimes I think that the ones where I'm on here either the whole time by myself or the majority of the time by myself, I'm sometimes afraid that they might be a little bit boring because I find myself just mainly just babbling on throughout the film. And, I know I'm really not coming up with anything profound or thought provoking or anything like that. And two, I don't think I'm really all that entertaining. But I thank you guys and gals for coming in here and hanging out with me for the duration of a lot of these films. Thank you, Blissful. And here we get at the final credits, we get Angela opening the door to the cabin and saying, good night, campers, which I think is a nice little added touch to the movie. Oh, thank you, Blissful. And I don't want you guys to feel like I'm fishing for compliments or anything. That's not why I say the things I do. The reason I say the things I do is literally because I don't feel entertaining. I'm extremely gratified and grateful for the number of people that come in here every time I do a stream, and it doesn't matter what I'm doing. You core regulars just about always show up. And I just am humbled all over the place that people will, instead of there's a lot of other streams that they could be in, or not, maybe not necessarily be in, but be watching, that I'm sure are a lot more entertaining than mine. But I'm so grateful that you, and humbled too, that you choose to be in mine. Because again, who am I, just some regular Jane on here, just on here just because I find these fun, and keeps me from just sitting around thinking of stuff that's best not thought of and getting all the press and things like that. Ah, cool, John. You say I'm going to put on some weird science now, huh? Yeah, I love that movie too. I haven't watched Weird Science in a while. But so TJ says he doesn't think that I did one for a watch along for Intruder. So I figure I'll have that in January, sometime after probably the following weekend after Blood Cult and Just One of the Guys. The weekend following that, I will have Intruder as the horror choice for that next Saturday. Gosh, now we got 9 people in here. Sometimes that happens, like at the end or near the end of my stream or watch along, people will show up, and I feel bad because I would like to stay on here longer, but usually I get behind on my daily activities and need to finish up those, and so generally I can't stay on here as late as I'd like to. Hey, Dirk. But so hopefully all of you guys that are in here, and anybody else that wants to join in, can join me for Sleepaway Camp 3 tomorrow night. Again, going to be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So in the last couple of minutes I'm planning on being on here, is there anything anybody wants to bring up, or suggestions, complaints? You can even tell me my stream was shit if you want to. Honestly, with the exception of TJ being on here, I really don't think that highly of what I do. Um, I'm probably going to, when I get off here, I've got to clean out my hookah from where I used it earlier. You just started body count, Dirk? Oh, you know what? I'm just thinking, I have seen body count enough where I remember it. But Steve was supposed to watch that damn thing today, and I don't think he did. Um, Perhaps when he went in the bedroom, he watched it on Tubi or whatever. Um, so, Dirk, I mean, you don't have to tell me everything about it because we're going to discuss it tomorrow. By the way, Eurocult tomorrow, me and Steve and Dirk and Darren will all be talking about Rogero Diodato's body count. Blissful, you say, Dana, don't let anyone negative your journey. I like that. And so many people have told me that kind of stuff, including my husband. And I wish that I could clear out any negativity that I feel about myself. But I, I think the last time I was ever really where I didn't think badly of myself was when I was a kid. When I got in my upper teens, into my 20s, that's when I started, I guess that's when I noticed that, like, or I felt like I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't outgoing enough. I wasn't interesting enough, whatever. And I think that has continued to carry on into way into my adult life because I'm 47 now. Um, but I thank you guys. Thank you, Dirk. You say you do good, Dana. You're too hard on yourself. Steve tells me that too, Dirk. Believe it or not, he says, don't be so hard on yourself, Dana. And again, I'm not. I thank you and I bless each and every one of you for saying such nice things about me and about my streams and all that. But I honestly am not fishing for compliments. I just like to be as upfront as I can about who I am, how I feel about myself, and all that. And some people, it may turn them off a little bit. They may not. They be like, I don't want to hear that kind of stuff, that kind of thing. But I'm just me, and I spent years not being open and upfront with people. I didn't want to say anything. And so now I just let everything out pretty much. Um, Coco, you say, I need help taking care of a stray cat. Sometimes stray dogs come around too. Can you guys send some cat and dog food my way? I need help with this situation. I would be glad to, Coco. Unfortunately, I can't at the moment, but if anybody can help Coco out, maybe you know, get together with her and see if you could work something out. Um, yes, Blissful. In the past, I have tried meditation, um, and perhaps I will again because I it does work. It does help. Um, uh, oh, Coco, don't feel bad. You say I hope this is not rude to ask for on your stream, Dana. No, 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 no. Because there might be somebody on here that is able to help. Um, Perhaps somebody that's got some extra dog food or cat food or something that could send some your way. I have seen What Lies Beneath. I love that movie, John. You say watched it last night, shot well, but it's a mixed bag, which I totally understand that as well. Um, Dirk, you say people keep coming back. There's definitely a reason. Um, Yeah, because I'm not like I'm not blackmailing people or anything to come on here. Evidently, Blissful enjoyed what lies beneath. Oh, thank goodness, TJ. I was really worried. They say tornado warning over. I'm still in Kansas. LOL. So, did you guys have any wind or anything like that? Did it get? What do they say? The sky will turn green sometimes before tornadoes. Things will get real still, eerily still. So, but I'm glad to know that everything's okay, TJ. John, you say, I appreciate your streams. It's nice to have someone just be themselves and not play up a character like a lot of YouTubers. Well, thank you, John. I appreciate that. I can only be me. I think Ted Raimi said it best one time that it becomes exhausting if you try to constantly be somebody that you're not. And I think that fits perfect in this situation or in my situation, because I just I don't have the energy, nor do I want to be anybody else other than me. And some people are going to like me, some people aren't going to like me, and that has become not to open a can of worms, and I'm not going to go on about this much, but it has become apparent to me how much, maybe not that people dislike you, but how seemingly interested some people are, not any of you guys in here tonight, seem to want to take the joy out of doing something like this. And for those in the know, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I might sound bitchy, but I have decided from that moment on, from the moment that I removed a couple of people from being able to come on the streams, or I guess they can't come on the streams. I know they can't comment in the streams and they can't comment on the videos. And, again, I'm not going to, some of you are in the know, who I blocked, because you're people that I talk to on a regular basis, and I kind of wanted to clear my name about that. And I think some people are still, and again, I'm not going to mention who, I think some people are still a little sore at me for blocking these people, in particular, one person. But again, I'm not being selfish. I thought that they were hurting these streams, and it was an irritation to me. It may have been an irritation to other people, especially people that were on here live when one of the people that I blocked was on here. Okay. I'm kind of trying to be a little shady about this, because I was told by somebody, if you're going to block people, you need to just block them and not say anything about it. Don't tell anybody who you blocked. Don't do videos talking about you blocked somebody. And I understand that. I understand that really. But I'm sorry. I find myself constantly having to feel like I have to defend myself for what I did, because I feel like again, not you guys that are in here, but unfortunately there have been a few people, and by few, I mean just a small amount of people that have not returned to my streams once they found out one particular person was blocked. And I tried to explain myself, and unfortunately, some of these people have not come back. So I defended myself as much as I could. and explain the situation as much as I could. And all I can do is move on from that situation. But that was probably a long, inflated answer to that comment, John. Yeah, that would be cool, Blissful, if you had time. Dirk likes What Lies Beneath. John, you say, yeah, What Lies Beneath is nostalgic for me because I remember seeing it in high school. It's got that cool, darker cinematography look to it, like Sleepy Hollow in those era films. TJ, you say a little bit of wind and rain, but nothing major. I'm not trying to be nosy, but the person that said that said you need to come downstairs, was that your dad, TJ, or was that somebody else? I'm just being nosy. Dark, you say, speaking of Raimi, he's doing another Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. You talking about Sam Raimi? Huh, interesting. I hadn't heard that. Thank you, Coco. You say, yes, you have good streams, and I hope you have a good rest of the weekend. I hope everyone does. TJ, stay under the rainbow. Night, guys. Good night, Coco. Well, I see you're still listening down there at the bottom. I'll get to it. Blissful, you say, just saying some people should come with warning labels. You ain't kidding, Blissful. Coco, you say, I'm still listening. Life is too short. So if people being negative and are causing problems gots to go, ain't nobody got time for that. Be a boss, Dana. Yeah, I just feel, I mean, this is going to sound really shitty, but I don't really feel bad or about blocking the two people that I blocked. What I feel bad about is the misunderstanding that I feel like is between me and some of the other people, the people that won't return to my streams. And, pretty big coincidence that as soon as they found out I blocked this one particular person, they quit coming to the streams. Like, after they figured out that this person wasn't going to be in the streams anymore. And, I feel like I've done all I can do. I can't, other than allowing the person back on the streams. And I don't think that's a good idea. Because of a lot of things that went on behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, whatever. So I don't envision myself letting either of those two people come back on the streams. And I'm sorry if the one person's hurt. But, when somebody keeps pushing, and, I don't want to say pushing the envelope, but pushing, I'll just lay it out there. I thought that this one person was trying to push their way into my channel and wanted to be like half owner of the channel, which nobody else acts like that comes on here. TJ, he comes on, he doesn't act like, oh, I want to be one half of your channel. He comes on here, we have a good time. Some of you other guys that come on here, John, both John Grande and Movie Junkie John, both of them, same thing. Dirk, same thing. Darren, I mean, all of those people that have been on have just, CK and Uncle Bill, because guess what? They got their own channels doing their own thing. So they don't come on my channel and push an agenda. Okay. This person did not have their own channel, and they're as perfectly capable, I would think, and free to create their own channel, have their own content on there, invite whoever they want on there. But they didn't do that. Instead, and my channel is not even really like overly popular. So I really didn't understand the importance or the urgency or whatever that this person had. And then the other person I blocked was just being a jerk. Starting arguments with me in my own stream. Um, I took so much of it over time. And then, you know, I just thought, that's it, you're gone. Because I'm on here to have fun, and that's all I'm on here for. I'm not on here to have philosophical discussions back and forth about stuff and to get into arguments with people. I'm too damn old for that. So anyway, enough of that. So, Blissful says, Coco, I'll do some research for you about pet food. Oh, it was the guy you give rent to. Okay. He was pretty firm about it, wasn't he? Coco, you say, well, Blissful, I'm wanting to go dumpster diving because you can find dog food that hasn't been tampered with sometimes. Just got to know your local laws and rights. Well, be careful, Coco, if you do that. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. John, Tony Moran, and Fancy Nancy. Yeah, I know you're kidding. Dirk, you say at the end of the day, you have to do what's good for you, no matter what anyone else thinks. Exactly, Dirk, and that's pretty much what I had to do. Coco, you said pretty sure it's legal in my area, but still embarrassing to get popped. Hell yeah, Bliss, I'm done going on now. TJ, you say I need to be alive to pay the rent. He's good like that. LOL. He definitely sounded like a parent, which is why I thought, is that TJ's dad? Coco, you say, Dana, people don't understand that negativity can cause anxiety and just an overall bad feeling. Yeah, I totally agree. Yes, it is definitely bad for your health. Yeah. I'm just glad that TJ's okay because that sounded pretty serious there for a bit. All right. So I'm through bitching and moaning, and I'm through with this watch along. And I think it's time for this gal to get off here for the night. But again, I will return tomorrow night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time, with, I keep wanting to say slumber party, Sleepaway Camp 3. And if anybody can join me on there, John, TJ, Dirk, whoever, feel free. I would love to have you on. And on that note, I'm going to skedaddle on out of here for the night, and I will see everyone on the flip side. Y'all have a good night now, and I will see you next time.